Alright, welcome back to some more Phoenix Wright. This is working right? Yeah, yeah, okay, good. Um, so last time we were sent right into a trial and had no evidence, but gained that evidence, and now today or now in this session, we will be getting more evidence and trying to figure out the truth, by going in the crime scene. Um, Today's investigation day one, so I'm gonna take a guess and say trial day two. I mean, I don't know. It could be over in trial day two, and if it is, I'm hoping it is because I'm actually gonna try to record both again, but hopefully because of how Professor Means was, that probably made my throat sore. So I'm gonna try to do this, and hopefully it won't be a long thing. It's 12:54 at night, so yeah, and I don't really feel like recording anything actiony or anything like that, like on a console or whatever. So maybe tomorrow on Sunday, but otherwise let's get right into it. Let's see, Cosmic Turnabout. Yep, day one investigation. And yes, and grabbing myself a milk. And let's get this investigation started. Also, is this something that's okay? And also, yeah, people won't have to complain at me too much about drinking milk. Hey, it's not soda. It's like, I'll drink what I want. I know about the whole soda deal, but that is so refreshing too. In the middle of the Space Center bombing trial, we had another bombing incident. That's right. This is technically into the future past case number one, too. This one destroyed courtroom number 4. Yeah, I completely forgot. It's been only since yesterday, and I completely forgot. The bomb, bomb explosion. And now I wonder how this is going to work out. Furthermore, Apollo suffered massive injuries from being there when the bomb went off. Unfortunately, Juniper Woods was fingered as the courtroom bomber. Athena and I knew she had to be innocent, so we took her case on. We managed to clear Miss Woods' name. But Apollo sustained further injuries when he was attacked by Ted Tonate. So now we are in current times. Makes me wonder how this is gonna go. Apollo is a tough guy, but this is taking its toll on him. Yeah, poor guy. Being attacked by Tonate like that on top of all his other injuries? Apollo is resting at the nearby Hickfield Clinic. I've had some experience with that place myself. What an awful turn of events. I never thought he'd land in a hospital of all places. You must miss them too, huh? Now that you don't have anybody to tease. I got you to tease. Don't worry, he's young. He'll heal quickly and be back before you know it. It's been a while since I last saw Trucy look so down. We won the court case, yet nobody feels much like celebrating. Alright, enough of this, people! This is no time to be moping around. Now dry those eyes, both of you! You're the only one who's crying, Athena. Technicalities, technicalities! Look, we have work to do. We have to take over. Take over what exactly? Yeah, this would be a little bit of confusion for him since, he just got done with one case, yet we're now doing case 4, which was the case that was supposed to be happening right now. Apollo Space Center case, of course. No verdict's been reached. There's still a chance. I agree with Athena. We should pick up Mr. Starbuck's defense. We have to avenge our fallen comrade. Right, Daddy? Apollo hasn't exactly fallen. He's still alive, you know. Good. Now that that's settled, let's get going. Come on. We've got to run. Wait. Right now? Now? We'd better not be running the whole way. There she goes. I'd better catch up. Can you take care of the office, Trucy? Sure thing, Daddy. Let's be careful out there. In the meantime, I'm gonna bake some cookies and fill up my magic panties for you. Trucy seems to be feeling a little better. I can always count on Athena to perk everybody up with her enthusiasm. Oh, she's back! Don't mind me. Just forgotten a few things. Wallet, phone, the documents, my bag. That's a lot of few things. Sounds more like you forgot everything. I can always count on Athena for that, too. Alright, you two. Let's be careful out there. But you're staying here. Alright. So, how have you been holding up, Mr. Starbuck? After all, you've been in jail while, we've had another trial to go through. So, our client is one Solomon Starbuck. He's so famous. Even I've heard of him. That's right. He's a super famous astronaut who works at the Cosmos Space Center. He was actually up in outer space for seven years ago, not for 7 years, although that could be the case. You seem to know quite a bit on him. Now I'm all excited to meet the man. Is he gonna be sighing again? Ah, come on, man! You were all perked up in court in the last part, and now you're all pouty again because of one day without Apollo? Come on! Wow. That was the longest sigh I've ever heard. Where have I heard that before? Apollo told me all about you. You're Phoenix Wright, Apollo's mentor, right? Yes, that's right. Mentor has a nice ring to it now that he says that. Don't worry about a thing, Mr. Starbuck. Mr. Wright and I got you covered. Ah, and you're the new kid that Apollo told me about. Wait, don't I know you from somewhere? Huh? You mean other than your trial? At your trial? I don't think so. I guess so. My mistake. my memories isn't what it used to be. My mind and body are kaput. Same goes for my life. I mean, I'm astronomically unlucky that I had a bomb go off in the middle of my trial. Trying to defend me would be like trying to enter the stratosphere without a spacecraft. Yikes. He's seriously gotta stop depressing himself. Cheer up, Mr. Starbuck. Besides, that thing you said about entering the stratosphere, that just means we'd shine like shooting stars, right? Like shooting stars, huh? You know, you're right. Why didn't I think of that? After all, that's what we were all put on this earth to do, right? To shine like stars. Guess I shouldn't mention the fact that shooting stars burn out in a flash. No, that's one thing that you should not mention, Phoenix. Aw, yeah! Here we go! 3, 2, 1! To the stratosphere and beyond! Yeah! I feel alive now. You can go ahead and ask me anything you want. Is that really all it takes? My badge! So, what do you think about this? The evidence is gonna get me convicted. That's an insult to my badge and myself. No, it's my attorney's badge. I was hoping it would reassure you that we're here to defend you. Evidence isn't just for prosecution. It can help prove a person's innocence too. That's a positive thing. Spin on things. I thought that was common knowledge. My badge! I just like saying that. So, you have no memory at all of the incident? I'm so ashamed. My memory of the time is as black and clouded as a dark nebula. Still, it's strange that you don't remember a thing. Are you sure you didn't take one of those anti-anxiety pills like they said at the trial? You got it all wrong. I told him during the investigation too. I don't know anything about any drugs. I never took any medication. I swear. It is true. I developed a fear of space because of what happened 7 long years ago. And I was taking medication secretly every now and then when my anxiety got bad. Having a fear of space is not something an astronaut can brag about, you know? Oh, the so-called HAT, one miracle? That must have been a terrifying experience. But I'm still an astronaut at heart, come what may. I would never take drugs that might impede my performance just before a launch. That launch meant everything to me. That's more certain than the theory of relativity. He seems like a completely different person now. This is the face of the astronaut I know. But the tranquilizers were found in your system. Yeah. See, that's the thing. I don't know why. I'm done for. If you didn't take them, then maybe somebody slipped them to you. Exactly. That's what I thought. I must have been the real culprit. My medication was in my locker. Anybody could have gotten their hands on it. Maybe the real culprit also planted the detonator switch in your pocket. Yeah, that's gotta be it! I've been framed! I'll say, they even managed to plant your prints on the switch before slipping it in. It's a real possibility. Do you remember anything else that might be relevant? Anything at all, no matter how small. Like, about the murder weapon, for example. That knife. I think it came from one of the Space Center's utility kits. Utility kits? Yeah. Staff who work on machinery a lot are given these special toolkits to use. All the technicians have them, so I doubt you could prove whose knife it is. Okay, it has the victim's blood on it from a set of utility tools used by Space Center techs. Okay, so about the HAT-1 miracle, can you give us any specifics? I mean, this could be related to the case after all. As I recall, your last trip into space was 7 years ago, right? That's right, it was. A pretty rough experience. During that mission, we had all kinds of problems with the craft. You did? What kind of problems? Power failure, oxygen leakage, busted radio, cracked windows, loose control columns. The heat shield came off as we entering the atmosphere. I thought I was a goner. Dang, man, it sounds like freaking crap that would happen like when space shuttles first lifted off or whatever. But I managed to make it somehow with the popsicles and ice packs from the freezer. Wow. No wonder they dubbed it HAT-1 Miracle. It's a miracle you made it back! Space is a boundless place. That's why it continues to capture people's imaginations. But the vastness of space shows us how insignificant we are in the scheme of things. That's very deep and very true. I mean, I always liked the idea of space because, I mean, there probably is, but I'm just saying could be because I know some people are like, ooh, there's no such thing as life on in the space or whatever, but when you think about it in the long run, we're just a little tiny planet that's in a galaxy, in one galaxy with several other galaxies in the universe. And just think about that with the one galaxy that are in the one galaxy with 8 planets, 9 if you can include Pluto, but that's not a planet. And then on little tiny Earth that's minuscule size compared to Jupiter. I mean, I like space just as much as I like weather. So the darkness just goes on and on forever and ever and ever without end. There was nobody else there. Nobody was gonna come save me. I was all alone. All alone, with nothing to listen to but the sound of my own breathing and heartbeat. I kept scrambling to make repairs, but I couldn't keep my hands from shaking. An experience like that would make anybody afraid to go back up into space. Yeah. Well, I mean, with all the stuff that you mentioned, yeah, that would pretty much... I think I could understand where you're coming from. Although it's kind of sad when you think about it, too, because it's like... You like space, you dreamed about going into space, and you made it your career, and then after going into it, with all that crap happening, it's made you become afraid to go back into space, all because of the vehicle that you go into or that you explore space with. With the experience you had, weren't you dreading this mission? What? No way. Of course not. Even now, I want to go back into space so bad, I can barely stand it. I want to shake off Earth's gravity at escape velocity and spin around weightless. But you have to admit, it was pretty harrowing. Weren't you even a tiny bit afraid? I was afraid. Of course I was. Still am. But space is man's final frontier. An unknown world. The cosmic truth is out there, waiting for us somewhere. The cosmic truth, huh? I guess there are people looking for the truth in every walk of life. No matter how afraid I am, I'm sure I can manage. If I give it in to my fear, I'll never find the truth. I gotta say right now, Starbuck is really, with all those quotes that he's saying. Gotta love those quotes that he's saying. As long as I don't give up, I can keep up the fight. Just keep them coming. Just keep them coming. I want to hear more. One thing's for sure. Mr. Starbuck's passion for space is undeniably the real deal. Okay, so the victim. The victim played Terran. He was kind of like your protege. Did I say that right? I thought it was No. I think it's protege. Wasn't he? Well, it wasn't a big exaggerated deal, like master and apprentice or anything like that. But Clay did think of me as his mentor. The mentor and the protege. What a combination they must have been. With his encouragement, I knew I could get over my fear and go back into space. But now... Clay must have been very encouraging, huh? Yeah, it's funny, really. Whenever I'd hear him shout, "You're fine!" I always got the feeling everything really was gonna be fine. You're fine? Apollo says I'm fine, and you're fine all the time, too. And I always feel encouraged, too, whenever I hear him shout it. Yeah, Clay and Apollo were best buds. They used to come visit the Space Center a lot, ever since they were high school kids. One day, out of the blue, Clay even told me he wanted to be my protege. Those two hung around the Space Center so much, they were like a part of the staff. One time, during zero-G training, I started to panic a little bit. And then the two of them took turns, shouting, "You're fine," over the radio. It was a simple thing, but it was exactly what I needed to hear. So I'm fine, and you're fine. Were like Apollo and Clay's secret phrases, huh? I wish I could ask Apollo more about Clay and their relationship now. Speaking of Clay, how do you suppose he climbed down the ladder with you over his shoulder? Sorry, but I can't even begin to imagine. But he actually did climb down that ladder, so a way has to exist. From the freedom of space to the walls of a cell. But that prosecutor said the dark night sky isn't half bad through barred windows. You're fine! Solomon Soul Starbuck is fine! Everything is gonna be alright. Huh? And Athena Sykes is fine too. Come on, Mr. Wright. You too. Do I really have to? Phoenix Wright is fine. I can't hear you! Phoenix Wright is fine! We'll get you back into space yet, Mr. Starbuck. I believe in your own innocence and have faith in us. Apollo believed in you wholeheartedly, and that's good enough for me. I believe in you too. Thank you. Thank you, both of you. I'll put my faith into you. And I vow to make it back into space. All I need first is a not guilty verdict. It sure feels nice to reassure ourselves every now and then that we're all fine. Okay, Mr. Wright. Let's get our investigation of the Space Center started. Pronto! Good idea. Let's go! Alright. So,